Welcome to the Flower Farm Sampler Quilt-Along series. I'm Shelley Kavana, author of the Flower Farm Sampler book, and it's my mission to help you make stunning quilts simply. If we haven't met before, I'm a quilt pattern and cross-stitch designer. I design fabric and I write quilting books like the Barnstar Sampler and the Flower Farm Sampler. You can find my patterns, fabrics, and books at your favorite local quilt shop, or you can find them online at our website at corasquilt.com. You can also follow our quilty adventures on social media under the tag @CorasQuilts. In our Flower Farm Sampler Quilt-Along series, we'll be working through all 18 blocks from my Flower Farm Sampler book, spread out over 12 months. To sew along with us, you'll need your fabric and the book. In these videos, also assume that you've prepped and cut your fabric pieces following the book's instructions. To make the blocks in the book, you won't need any specialty rulers, foundation paper piecing, or templates. Most of the blocks use my favorite stitch and flip techniques to create complex geometric designs with simple shapes. A few of our blocks do include triangles, which will piece oversized and trim down to perfection. All the stitch and flip basics are also covered on pages 10 through 13 of your book, so you'll definitely want to bookmark that section for handy reference. Instead of starting with block 1 and working our way chronologically through the book, we're going to begin with our smaller 8-inch blocks. This way we can practice techniques on a manageable scale before tackling our larger and more complicated blocks. You'll find our complete schedule, my list of must-have and nice-to-have tool recommendations, and a free downloadable block checklist so you can keep track of your progress, all on our Quilt-Along homepage. We've left the link to that in the description box below. Welcome back to the Flower Farm Sampler Quilt-Along. In this week's video, we'll be working on the Paperwhites block, which is block 9 in your book and can be found on page 34. It is another one of our beautiful 16-inch blocks. The Paperwhites block has such a stunning kaleidoscopic look, and here is the secret. We're building this entire block using techniques we've already practiced, plus one really clever trick for making mirror-imaged half-hourglass blocks. Our Paperwhites block is assembled in quadrants using a 4-patch structure or 2 rows of 2 units each. Each of these quadrants is made up of a smaller 4-patch unit featuring several variations of a half-square triangle unit. But don't let all of these angles frighten you. This block is made entirely with square pieces, and we'll be taking things one step at a time to simplify this sophisticated block. We're starting block construction by assembling the starry points that make up the perimeter of the block. Technically, I would call these half-hourglass units, but they're really just a fun variation of a half-square triangle unit. And we make the mirrored pairs in sets using what I call a double stitch and flip technique. To start things off, we make half-square triangles using B and C squares. We've covered the 2-at-a-time half-square triangle method back in our earlier videos, and you can find the detailed pictorial tutorial on page 13 of your book. As a quick refresher, start by marking a diagonal line on the wrong side of your B squares. Then place these marked squares right side together with the C squares and sew a scant 1/4-inch seam along both sides of the marked line. Then cut the unit apart into pairs on the line. For each of these half square triangle units, your seams are going to be pressed towards the darker print before you take the time to center and trim each unit down to 5 inches. Now, here's the magical part. We're going to take these half square triangles that we just made and turn each one into 2 new mirrored units. We start off by marking a diagonal line on the wrong sides of our E squares. Now, here's the key. You're going to pin a marked E square right sides together to one of those half square triangle units. But you need to make sure that your marked line runs opposite of that center seam so that it crosses over in the middle. Be sure to take a look at the diagram in your book because placement is critical here. Then you'll sew a scant 1/4 inch seam along both sides of the marked line before carefully cutting the unit in half along the line. When you open your units up, you will have 2 mirror image triangle units. Press your seams towards the E part of the unit. Then center and trim each unit down to 4.5 inches. The center diamond in our finished block is also made using half square triangles as well. We'll start off first by making 2 at a time half square triangle units with A and E squares. Be sure to center and trim these down as directed in your book. Then to finish the units, you'll add a D stitch and flip corner to the lower right part of the half square triangle. This is the background portion of that half square triangle. Once you've trimmed and pressed, this H corner creates the illusion of that center diagonal background stripe running through the block. To assemble our block quadrants, we'll arrange units from steps 2 and 4 along with an F square in 2 rows. Again, pay careful attention to the orientation of each unit and use the assembly diagrams in your book as a reference point. These mirror image pairs should be positioned just right to create that kaleidoscopic effect. Sew the units into rows and then join the rows together, spinning the center seam. We covered seam spinning in depth way back in our Block 14 bellflower video, but as a quick refresher, you simply are going to pop open those few stitches above your seam allowance before pressing. This way, you'll see that the seams will naturally want to lay in opposite directions, spinning around the center of the block. While this takes a little bit of extra time, I think it's time well spent, as it really goes a long way to reduce the bulk at the center point of our units. After piecing all of your quadrants, you're ready to join them together into your finished block. As you lay the pieces out, again, pay careful attention to the orientation of each piece so that they're rotating around the center of the block. You'll join each quadrant into pairs, taking time to match up the points between each unit. Then you'll repeat to join the rows together, taking the time once again to spin that center seam to reduce bulk. And there you have it, your finished Paperwhites block. It is such a fun geometric flower pattern, and all of those layers and dimensions were created simply with squares. So give yourself a pat on the back for mastering triangular multiplication, and we'll see you next month with our stunning orchids block. Thanks so much for sewing along with me today. You can post your photos in our Flower Farm Sampler Quilt Along Facebook group or on Instagram and Blue Sky using hashtag Flower Farm Sampler. And be sure to tag us at Chorus Quilts so that we can see your beautiful work too. Don't forget to grab your free Flower Farm Sampler checklist. You can find the link for the free download in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more quilting videos. Hit the bell icon for notifications when we post new tutorials. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time with another Flower Farm Sampler block.